That's humble McGregor. Do you want me to do a humble McGregor impression? Thank you so much. We've got a gift. As I mentioned, I think in the previous video, I've teamed up with Fit Track. I'm very excited about this. I get excited about gadgets. I seem to be on varying different levels of maturity at the moment. I can go like normal 20-year-old and go Manchester for a rave. I can then go like 80-year-old and have apple pies and cream. I can go like mid-40s by getting excited through transferring hand wash and cream from old White Company bottles into new ones. Now I'm down to sort of 16-year-old again because I've got a gadget. As I mentioned in my previous video, I've teamed up with Fit Track just in time for my Santa Shred. What will be interesting is to compare the results. So obviously yesterday we had a DEXA scan with Philip, which was fantastic. I want to jump on the scales at David Lloyd as well as using these and kind of give an insight into the potential variation in figures and data between these machines. So here we go. Fit Track, the Dara BMI. Gain Health Insight, Complete Body Analysis Bluetooth Scale. So I've seen Jamie Alderton using these and I was like, I quite like the fact that when you step on the scales every morning, it pairs up to your phone and you have a constant reading per day. So we'll be collating some data. I think you need a couple of days worth of tracking and then we can get into it. I can tell I'm a child because there will never not be a time whereby me stepping on some scales and coming up on my phone won't excite me. I'll be 80 years old and doing this and I'll still get buzzing. 94.4 key today, 0.4 key heavier than yesterday. Slight fluctuation as we weighed in about 12:30 yesterday, trained fasted as well. But if you scroll down, you've got your highlights, so your body fat percentage, muscle rate, body water, bone mass, basal metabolic rate, 1854 calories. This is why when we see these incredibly harsh restrictive diets from certain companies, they're not taking into consideration the basic requirements and needs that the body requires from a caloric intake. So this is for me as an example, but I would need 1854 calories just to stay still all day. And then if you scroll to the top, you've got graphs covering your weight and body fat percentage. I think these are fantastic, especially for sort of Gen Pop clients, whereby it's very similar to somewhat habit tracking and that dopamine response and release you get from the simple task of using something like Fit Track, weighing yourself every morning and almost beating your previous weight. I think it's a fantastic addition, a fantastic tool for a lot of people to use when they are going into dieting phases. There will be a link in my description box. So if you're too also cutting like me, join me on the Santa Shred. We'll get nice and shredded for Santa. Or if you're in your gaining phases, I found in particular with my previous gaining phase that data tracking like that consistency is perfect, keeps me locked in. But if you just bear with me, Ducky, just bear with me. It's on offer at the moment, it's 58 quid, but I don't know if my discount code applies. It does. 47, so it goes down, it's on offer, plus my code, 47 quid. My Salter scales downstairs were 35, so for an extra 12 quid, Bluetooth, slightly more in detail tracking, keeps you consistent, keeps you locked in, achieve your goals. I'm gonna go and do my steps now and then I'm gonna train fasted, go down to 7R, because Coach Joe, he's taking me through some Olympic lifting. I'm here with none other than my main man. That was a very good session. Come a little closer.
Yeah, get me in. It's TM Cycles debut. A bit nervous for the comments, Tom.
That's enough. Sweet. Let's get Joe to 1,000. Let's get Joe to get Joe to 1,000 followers. That was a very, very good Olympic weightlifting session. Coming in the next games. Who's it? Who is it? Is you stupid? is you stupid? Welcome to episode number... What do you mean welcome? It's already been a fucking... It's the end of the day. Oh, what a day. It's 5 o'clock. As this is episode number 1 of the Santa Shred, we're going to go through the duration, macros, the training split, because there's been a slight change, cardio, and the goal. What's your objective? What do you want to get out of this cut, Tom? So we'll begin with the duration, which is 9 or 10 weeks. The reason why I say like 9/10 is the first week prior to entering the deficit, I tend to use as like a kind of clean up week whereby I rid of any quote unquote dirty foods. I get some routine and I get some structure back in and potentially experiment with kind of times if I'm making a shift in work as an example. So at the moment we're kind of waking up, doing some steps, coming back. Very similar routine to what I was doing on prep really. In terms of macros, we are on this particular week I've been essentially protein semi-tracking, so ensuring that I'm getting my 220 protein in and then taking up the remaining amount of food through calories, so just protein and calories. But come Monday we're going to be back on actual macro tracking. So macros are 220 grams of protein, we'll be on 300 grams of carbs and 60 grams of fat. So that puts me on around about 2,600 calories. So in terms of a deficit, I'm on a 200 calorie deficit because I've been pretty much maintaining my mid 94, 95 kilos on 2,800 calories per day. As you've seen the previous content that I've been putting out, the majority of my 4 days of eating have been around about that 2,800. So going into a sub 200 calorie deficit, that's what we'll be on for the first week. In terms of cardio, we'll do cardio because we are doing 2 lots of 300 calories, and that is on a Wednesday and a Sunday. So my rest days are essentially active rest days. The reason why we're doing 300 calories is because the average calories burned tracked on my Apple Watch through my sessions in the week are about 300. So with the macros and the 2,600 calories, there's not going to be a difference between training and rest. It's going to be a consistent 2,600 calories every single day. So in order for us to kind of keep the variables the same, we are going to be essentially imitating a training session with the amount of calories burned in cardio, if you can kind of understand where I'm coming from there. As for the split, we are making a slight shift. If you haven't already seen the previous split that I was doing in this somewhat you'd call like a maintenance phase, then the link is above. So the split will still be chest and triceps on a Monday. Tuesday is quads and delts. Wednesday we rest. Thursday is today, shoulders, so delts and biceps. The delts being targeted on that Tuesday quad session is just through lateral. What is that? Go on, I'll back it. Go on, get him. It's alright, man, it's just a motorbike. The delt work on Tuesday's quads and delt session is just a few sets of lateral raises, essentially to top them up. And then the Thursday shoulders and biceps when I do my OHP and slightly more shoulder volume. Friday, so tomorrow we've got back and we've got hamstrings, so essentially like a posterior style session. And then on Saturday, can't be a good old arm day. So when I go down to David Lloyd, do arms, do a little arm circuit as well. And then Sunday, we've obviously got our cardio. So that's our current split. Feel free to join in on the Santa Shred if you want to. What is my goal? My goal is like my Bayer condition, round 2. I quite like that particular level of condition, and I think my weight at the time was around about the 90s. So target weight is 90 kilograms. I'm mid 94. So I've got about 10 weeks to drop 4 or so kilo. Don't mind if I go sub 90, to be completely honest with you, but aiming for that sort of 0.5 key per week drop. Okay. There we have a rundown of the Santa Shred. Duration 9 to 10 weeks. there's a split, chest tries, quads delts, delts bis, back and hams, so posterior and arms. We've got cardio at 2 lots of 300, so Sundays and Wednesdays. Macros, 220 protein, 300 carbs, 60 fat. Just putting on around about 2,600 calories, so 200 calorie deficit. That will open up as we continue. And then the goal weight, goal shape is like Marbella, 90 kilo. Then come December, I'm not going crazy in December, but you know what Christmas is like, you know, it's too, so I want to be in a position come December where I don't feel as, not that you should anyway, but I don't want to feel too guilty, and I've kind of got some wiggle room if I do want to kind of overindulge, because we've kind of had the last 2 or 3 Christmases ruined because of COVID. We haven't had our Sunkist brunch, which is highly upsetting. The boys brunch, and I'm sure there'll be many other events going on in December. A couple of rave ups hopefully as well. All right, see you Monday. We've got a new episode of Ask TMC talking about fat burners. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Any questions below? I'll see you very soon. Thank you, good night. Much love. Sorry, also steps 7,500 per day. 7,500 per day. Okay, bye.